Matthew.
What's the Secretary's reaction to the House Foreign Affairs Committee doing a markup of a resolution to hold him in contempt of Congress for not complying with the subpoena to appear before the committee related to its report about the withdrawal from Afghanistan?
So we continue to not understand why the committee has chosen to take this step. As I said in response to a question from Matt yesterday, the Secretary has testified 14 times before Congress on Afghanistan. 4 of those times have been before this committee, including one appearance that was exclusively focused on Afghanistan. That was the sole subject of the hearing. We cooperated with their investigation into Afghanistan, provided them with documents, provided them with witness interviews, and we have tried to accommodate their request for a hearing. They asked for a hearing this Thursday. Obviously, the Secretary is traveling, trying to advance a ceasefire. He's not able to be there because he's doing the important business of the United States. But we've said we would make the Deputy Secretary available, and we have offered the Secretary to appear at a later date. And so we wish.
Later date?
These are negotiations that we have with the committee. But we've offered a later date when he's not traveling overseas, conducting important foreign policy interests of the United States, or otherwise engaged in these critical meetings that he has to do on behalf of the country. We have offered his testimony, and if they're fixated on this date, we have offered the testimony of the Deputy Secretary, and we wish that they would take yes for an answer rather than moving to this extraordinarily unnecessary and unproductive step.
But he will show up for a hearing. You guys are not fighting the subpoena in court.
They have. We are not at that point yet. They have moved directly to contempt when we were in what we thought was the middle of the type of negotiation process that the Supreme Court has said Congress must carry out when it comes to asking for testimony from executive branch officials. They asked for his testimony. We told them that we would engage with them on a date. They sent a subpoena. We told them that he was traveling to work to try to secure a ceasefire on the date of their subpoena, but we would be happy to accommodate them in other ways. And they, for some reason, have moved to this extreme step. I can't explain it, but we will continue to make clear to them that we will accommodate their legitimate oversight interests to the extent we can. But when it comes to just picking one date and saying the Secretary has to be here when he has for some time planned to travel overseas to try to advance the foreign policy interests of the United States, that is not the type of legitimate accommodation process that the Supreme Court has said the Constitution requires.
And finally, Russian President Vladimir Putin is directing the army to add 180,000 troops, bringing the total number to 1.5 million. This would make Russia's army the second largest worldwide, overtaking the U.S. Army, which is in third place currently. How is the U.S. planning to respond to this move? Does this concern Western allies at all?
Well, let me just say first, it's another sign of the desperate choices that Putin has had to make to sustain this war. You've already seen it be an extraordinary drain on the Russian economy. You've seen Russia pay an extraordinary cost in deaths and casualties, hundreds of thousands of Russians who have been killed or wounded in this conflict. And this action just shows that he continues to be committed to sacrifice the lives of thousands, hundreds of thousands of his fellow citizens for this needless war.
Thank you.